Hi, welcome to my life today. I'm out at my buddy's house and it's super, super pretty. It's a lovely day in southern Indiana. And adjust this mofo because it'll fall right off if I don't. Okay. So forgive me if I don't look at the lens because I'm really driving, and also, I tend to look at myself because I have issues. Seriously, I don't really know what I look like unless I'm looking in a mirror. It's part of BPD for me, not having a firm sense of identity. It's, I really don't know what I look like unless I'm looking in a mirror. So sometimes I'm surprised, sometimes I'm delighted, sometimes I'm horrified. And anyway, about it, it is what it is. Better roll this window up. Hopefully y'all can see a bit of the lovely landscape of southern Indiana in the window behind me. Okay now, phone, stop. Little holder's being goofy. But I really can't focus on that with cars on the road. Deer, there's all kinds of deer out here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty out here though. Look at this place. Look at this place. Just don't look at the inside of my car. It's nasty. So how about that Johnny Depp trial, huh? Oh, speaking of deer, hello. I got some deer warning technology on the front of my car, so I don't rely on it, but it's nice to know that maybe it'll help. So just for the record, so it's sad. I think that Amber Heard is a toxic, manipulative cunt who is deserving of every ounce of vitriol that she's getting. I don't think that she deserves death threats, and leave her daughter the fuck out of it, because that kid has nothing to do with any of this. But we can only hope the best for her. But that's what happens when you set your eyes on a target and worm your way into somebody's heart and then flip on a dime and suddenly be like, what do you mean you took your boots off? That's my job. I take your boots off. Bitch, no. Relationships are not an ownership arrangement. Or they fucking shouldn't be. And if they are, you better have a clear fucking BDSM contract, lined out, and have those parameters fucking spelled out, because otherwise somebody, usually more than one somebody, is in for a world of hurt. And why, if we don't have to? Why hurt people if you don't fucking have to? I'm a firm believer in do what thou wilt, to the whole of the law, love is the law, love under will. Every man and woman is a star. We're all made of stardust. We're all made of the same cosmic shit. So we're all animated by the same pulses of energy. Let's stop it already. The only way this world is ever going to harmonize is if we leave other people the fuck alone to do their thing and mind our own business, focus on our own work. Trying to evolve from where I came from to where I am now and to where I'm going. Figuring out the universe and working your way towards divinity is hard work. Capital W, hard work. And if you're doing that, then you don't have time to worry about destroying other people. It makes me sad. There's so much heartache and pain in the world, so many cycles of violence perpetuated that don't have to be, but are, because people think about it or people don't. else's. I have BPD, like full disclosure. I have borderline personality disorder and social anxiety disorder and mixed type bipolar disorder and PTSD and among a host of other things. Like that's like, it's a laundry list of stuff, and I'm a hot fucking mess. But I'm also very smart and very introspective, and I'm willing to call myself on my shit. And sometimes just take it in the fucking face when other people call me on my shit. Like it's hard when somebody is standing there telling you what a piece of shit you are, and you know they're not wrong. Like, oh my god, it's like, shit, I am a piece of shit. Wow, okay, how do I not be a piece of shit? I'm here for the people who care about getting better, who care about being better people and like evolving towards a better version of themselves, because that's what we're here for. That's the entire purpose of our existence on this planet, in this incarnation, is to work to be better, to synthesize ourselves toward divinity. Get closer to the source of things and all that is. And so, in light of that, I find that tribalism and the division between people is unfortunate and regressive, and we don't have to be taking sides. We can just be helping each other and being better, but people have to have agendas and hoard things. That's a discussion for another time, but so pretty out here. But I don't know, it's back, but I don't know. It's honestly, I find it difficult to have conversations with people because a lot of times, I'm just stating it as a fucking fact. I'm more intelligent than most people, and it's difficult to have a conversation with people who can't grasp what the fuck you're talking about, because you're seeing layers upon layers upon layers of things, and seeing the interconnectedness of things. Like, I look at the world and I see the geometry. Like, I see the connectedness and the dynamics of it. And you sound like a nut job when you talk to people who don't get it. So it's not that I have anything against people who are less intelligent or who aren't deep or who aren't interested in the kind of metaphysics of things. It's that I don't, you're not ready for this stuff, and it's okay. Your spirit will get there eventually or not. It's none of my fucking business. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But, those people who don't have that awareness are the ones who get in the way of progress. I don't know. I want to see a Star Trek future occur rather than a Star Wars future. I don't want to think like Battlestar Galactica. I don't want to think not to say that Star Trek doesn't have its paradigm reaming foes, but you get what I'm saying? That kind of I wish people understood socialism, because that's a whole other thing. I'll get around to that eventually, I'm sure. But yeah. I do. I am a middle-aged zennial. But I'm between Gen X and millennial generation. I'm in that little window in the late 70s, very early 80s. It's like 78 to 81 or something. Halloween 79. I'm an old lady by social media standards, and I certainly feel like it. Like, my joints are falling apart, and I have spinal arthritis, and had JRA since I was a kid. 7 or 8 when I was diagnosed, something like that. I may be misremembering the dates, but it's been a long time since I've talked to the doctor. And he was, oh my god, I'm rambling. Oh my gosh, sorry, y'all. Where the fuck was I now? And alright, let me focus on my present. I'm a frustrated polymath. I'm like interested in too many things, and you know, jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. Specializations for insects, but you know, I know a little bit about a lot of things and a lot about a few things. People who know me would, I think, call me an insufferable know-it-all, and I certainly can't be like it. I can be, you know, somewhat arrogant in my knowledge, and certainly my delivery of knowledge, but that's part of that, like, BBD thing, that there's a frankness involved in the conversation there that, like, it is, you don't have the emotional attachment to phrasing in the way that other people do. I think, like, I can say something and I think that I'm just being truthful, like I'm just like spitting it out and like saying a thing as it is, but other people take it as like hurtful or deliberate or like, and it's, I don't know, it's unfortunate because I think a lot of times we don't mean to come off that way. Like, we don't mean to come off like callous and we don't care. It's just that we're trying to like spit it out because, you know, we don't have time to, we don't have time to like parse words. So there comes a lot of frustration with communication that kind of like feeds into it, and then like, you know, we don't have much tolerance for frustration, so we start getting grumpy with it, and you know, before it long it turns into snapping, and then it turns into, it feels like you're deliberately trying to hurt me with your words, and even though they may not be. It's weird how it gets flipped around that way, but you know, cluster B. Like, I can't speak for narcissists or for antisocials, but or histrionics, but as for myself as a borderline, like, I know that I don't want to hurt people. Like, I've spent my entire adult life working really fucking hard not to be a monster and recognizing it when it like flares up, and it's because we're so easily injured. And I think that if a study were done on the possible correlation between fibromyalgia and borderline personality disorder, that would be something. See, and questions like that are why I want to stack up degrees in social sciences, but instead I don't have school in 1998 with as a sophomore in college because I had advanced placement courses and had won a summer scholarship between my junior and senior years of high school. I'm part of the presidential pre-college program at Southwest Missouri State University, and it was pretty awesome. And anyway, so yeah, I graduate with thinking that I'm gonna like knock college out of the park, and then I met a man and got married. It was the worst decision of my life. No, maybe not quite. Worst decision of my life was a story for another time. But instead, my husband hung himself a week before Christmas in 2003, and I had 18 credit hours to go on my bachelor's degree in creative writing. And instead, I cut my husband's corpse off a staircase and stayed drunk for a few years. So instead of having stacked up multiple degrees and the things that interest me, like I could have, like I'm sitting here like fat and damaged and 42 and like no degrees and no job currently because I can't stay employed for more than a couple months at a time because my sense of time is completely broken. Like time is meaningless to me because like there's only so long you can hear the white noise static of trauma rewiring your brain. Like there's only so many times you can go through that before time becomes meaningless. Like it's just like I feel everything or I feel nothing. I think a lot of people will relate to that white noise static in your head that you experience with traumas. Like my husband's suicide wasn't the first trauma I'd undergone by far. I had ample practice with it with my mother, who's paranoid, who she died on Mother's Day. Fun fact. Not my doing. But yeah, she had paranoid schizophrenia with psychotic tendencies and bipolar disorder, and was a violent alcoholic and crack addict. She was also racist and like a really gross kind of slut. Like I'm not about slut shaming. I'm a big old whore myself, but like no. She was something else. But she was also very sick, and she was also like had terrible things happen to her, and nothing was done about it. You know, cycles perpetuate cycles, and so that's like there are a lot of cans of worms in my story. Gosh, it is so pretty out here. Town. Sorry, it's real. I've not been diagnosed with ADHD. I am very low focus, but that doesn't necessarily mean ADHD. So I'd have to wrap up this video, but I guess the point of all this is just that maybe the moral of today's story is that we can leave everyone alone to do their thing. If we can all just like go, that's nice, you do you. As long as nobody's getting hurt, as long as children aren't in danger, as long as animals aren't being tortured, you do you. Like, can't we all do that? That seems like the smallest fucking thing. It seems like the easiest thing in the world to me. Until people make it not so much. But I bet your ass I will come unglued and I will tear somebody apart if they give me a good reason to. But do what thou wilt, do the whole law.